As we continue our coverage of location prerogatives that determine fishing success, let's head north into bush country Canada in pursuit of lake trout.
Got him. All right. When it comes to lake trout and location, obviously you got to find them before you can catch them, obviously. Really classic, simple patterns for looking for these fish, at least in shield lakes. Gord, I got one. Oh man, yeah. Pretty. Yeah. Huh. So you're saying, okay, you hit a point like this, you fish it, and in 20 minutes, 25 minutes, you can move on. You hit one of those classic high banks, which we'll show some people, a little bit later on today. They move, you can fish those relatively fast too.
You see the straight bluffs, which can be excellent on certain lakes. What they do, there again, you've got a top edge here, bottom edge here, and they literally corral the fish against the point.
Yeah, and literally we have caught fish not 25 feet off those high banks. I mean, literally the steep cliffs.
Exactly.
But when you're looking on a lake map, and I've seen this a lot on portions of Lake of the Woods that we fished, you're looking for 60 and 80 feet, just as close to those banks as you can find. But that doesn't mean you're going to fish that deep.
That's right.
Okay. There we go. Another one. Ooh, beautiful spotted little guy, huh? He came through twice, and I couldn't know what it was. Let me get that bait out of there in a minute.
Pretty though.
Okay, we're talking about trout location on different kinds of lake. If there was one thing that you would say about just looking at a lake map and getting onto a lake, what would it be? I mean, look for a big basin area and stuff sticking into it, or?
For sure, Doug. The complexity is really important. If you can find, like we've got here, there's two little points. I did a piece for you. I think the very first piece I ever did for In-Fish was horseshoes. And this is exactly what we've got right here. And what happens is they corral in something like, it's like a maelstrom. Yep. And so anything that's different, points, bars, shoals, it's not unlike fishing for bass or walleye. Fish really are attracted to those areas that get bait fish kind of confused, and they can use them as ambush spots. They can drop off north side, south side.
And then you play the nature of the fish against that. Yeah. And lake trout are different. Like you were talking a while ago about them constantly on the search, whereas smallmouths would be a little habituation type feeding situations, but here they're moving and they're searching and they're looking, and you're saying they're coming around in these big circles and hitting the spot and looking at another spot and making a big turn maybe and coming back. There we go. There we go. Fish. Oh. It's a lake trout.
And again, Doug, and we've said it so many times, no one would ever fish these spots. And they just all think, the common favorite thought, at least for trout, is that they're out in deep water, off rocky structure.
Right.
But the kitchen door opens in the winter, and there's nowhere that's inaccessible in the lake, and they can take advantage of spots they never get a chance to go into, where most of the food is. Definitely a lake trout.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, beautiful fish, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that. Huh. Very nice.
Wow. And eating a perch bait.
Yep. After I just switched that bait. Well,
another beauty.
So, if you had to pick through all of the location that we talked about now, what do you think is the overall? Is there an overall one? There isn't there?
There probably isn't, Doug, but shallower and a little flatter than most people think.
Right.
Is better than that deep, out in the open, wide open, traditional, what they think about lake trout.
Right. In the last 10 years, I don't think I've fished deeper than 50 feet a half dozen times. And most of the fish we've caught are literally 10 down to 40 feet most of the time. Beautiful fish. Perfect end to a day.